Hello guys, hope you all are well. Today we are going to study the parts of speech, verb. Verbs are used to express an action, a state or a possession in a sentence. This can be divided as per two categories. Category 1. According to category 1, we can divide the verbs in two types: stative verbs and dynamic verbs. Stative verbs are those verbs which show a state or possession, and dynamic verbs are those verbs which show a physical action. According to another category, the verb can be divided into two types: main and helping. The main verbs are also called lexical verbs. Helping verbs are also called auxiliary verbs. Now, let's talk about the category 2 in more detail. The main verbs are further divided in various types according to three different categories. Category 1, finite and non-finite verbs. Category 2, transitive and intransitive verbs. Category 3, regular and irregular verbs. So let's talk about the category 1. Finite verbs are those verbs which acts as verb. Non-finite verbs are those verbs which acts as noun, adjective or adverb. Category 2, transitive and intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs are those verbs which needs an object. Intransitive verbs are those verbs which does not require any object. Category 3, regular and irregular verbs. Regular verbs are those verbs whose past tense and past participles are formed by adding a d or an ed. Irregular verbs are those verbs that does not follow the normal pattern of inflection. Non-finite verbs are those verbs which acts as noun, adjective or adverb. This is further divided in three types: infinitive, gerunds and participle. The infinitives are the basic form of a verb without an inflection binding it to a particular subject or tense. It is further divided in two types: bare infinitive and to infinitive. The example of bare infinitive is let him see. So here see is an adverb, not a verb. The two infinitives are those infinitives where a verb is added with to. For example, I want to see. These are always used in first form. Gerunds are those words where a verb is added with ing and it's act as a noun. For example, I like swimming. So swimming is a gerund here. Participle are words that formed from a verb and used as an if. Example, working woman, burned toast. Or a noun. Example, good breeding. Participles are of three types: present participle, past participle and perfect participle. Present participles are made by adding ing to the first form of the verb. Past participle are the third form of the verb. Perfect participles are formed by adding having with verb third form. So let's study these types of verbs in more detail. According to the category 2, the verbs are divided in two parts: main verbs and helping verbs. Because comparatively the helping verbs are easier, so we will start with helping verbs. Helping verb helps the main verb to form a tense, mood or voice. There are total 28 helping verbs, out of which 15 are primary auxiliary and 13 are modal auxiliary. You can see a table given below. The primary auxiliary are further divided in 3 types: to be, to have and to do. And the examples of to be are be, being, been, is, am, are, was and were. The examples of to have are have, has, had and having. Examples of to do are do, does, did. The modal auxiliaries are shall, will, can, may, should, would, might, could, must, ought to, used to, dare and need. Now let's talk about the main verbs. I had told you that they are further categorized in 3 different types: category 1, category 2 and category 3. So as per the category 1, we have divided the verbs in 2 types: finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Let's see what are these. Finite verbs. A verb which is limited by the number or the person of its subject and also on the tense of the subject is called finite verbs. The form of verb depends on its subject. For example, they play football. Here the subject is plural, that's why the verb is also plural. He plays football. Here the subject is singular and the verb is also singular. You are playing football. You can see here that as per the tense, the form of the verb has been changed from play to playing. She was playing football. Here again, according to the tense, there is a change in the verb. So such kind of verbs which change their form as per the tense and as per the number of subject are called finite verbs. Now let's talk about non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs do not change their form even when the person or the number of the subject changes, nor on the tense of the sentence. For example, they want to eat something delicious. She wants to eat something delicious. Here in the first sentence, they is a plural subject. In the second sentence, she is a singular subject. But the verb eat is same in both the sentences. Let's see more examples. He wants to play football. They want to play football. They want to eat eggs for breakfast. You can notice one thing, that in all these sentences we have used a word to along with the verb. So the non-finite verbs can act as noun, adjective or adverb. The non-finite verbs are further divided in 3 types: infinitives, gerund and participle. In the previous slide, we had seen some of the examples of infinitives. The infinitives acts as a noun. For example, to play is the only thing Pari wants to do once she finishes her exams. I know this play is brilliant, but my friend refuses to watch. Here the word play and watch are acting as noun, not as a verb. Gerunds are also the modified form of the verbs which acts as a noun. For example, seeing is believing. I enjoy studying coins. I enjoy reading. Here seeing, studying and reading are acting like a noun. And here we add ing to the verb. Don't get confused with the present continuous tense and past continuous tense where we use ing with the verb first form. There the verb acts as a action word, but here the verb is being used as a noun. And when a verb acts as an adjective, it is called a participle. For example, the drunken man, a ruined city, a misspelled word. Let's know about the infinitives in more detail. The infinitives are further divided in two types, bare infinitive and to infinitive. An infinitive is formed from a verb but doesn't act as a verb. It acts as a noun, adjective or adverb. Bare infinitive are the root form of the verb without to. For example, I saw her weep, I made her sing, I must go, we may win. You can see there is no modification in the form of the verb, but here the verb is not an action word, but it's acting as a noun. The to infinitives are the root form of the verb preceded by to. For example, I want to go now. To is used before the verb. As the list of to infinitive is very long, so here I have shown only the group of words which are followed by the bare infinitive. Auxiliary verbs, transitive verbs, the conjunction then and the preposition to infinitive is used to express some reasons or purpose. For example, I came here to consult you. Now next talk about the gerunds. Gerund is a non-finite verb. It is formed with a verb by adding ing and acts as a noun. For example, playing, swimming, walking, cooking, playing, etc. The gerund can be used in many ways. Number 1, as a subject of the sentence. For example, walking is a good exercise. Number 2, as a direct object. Example, I like swimming. As a complement of a verb, to be. Example, my favorite hobby is reading. As an object of a preposition. Example, she is good at painting. After a phrasal verb, you should give up smoking. In compound nouns, example, I bought some running shoes. They have swimming pool in their backyard. Number 7, after some expressions. Example, it is no good shouting at him. Let's see the participle now. A form of a verb that acts as an adjective is called participle. A present participle ends in ing. For example, a growing baby sleeps much of the day. Bondal is a farming community. Here growing and farming both are acting as an adjective. A past participle ends in ed. The conquered territory was under Spanish control. Troubled, she asked for advice. Here conquered and troubled both are found by adding ed to the verb. And both these words are acting as an adjective. Now let's talk about some rules for making participle. If the time denoted by the participle is same as that of the principal verb, we use the present form of the participle. V1 means verb first form plus ing. For example, seeing the police, the thief ran away. So here both the verbs of seeing and running is same. Next example, Naresh went into the bathroom singing. If the time denoted by the participle is prior to that of the principal verb, we use the perfect form of the participle, which means having plus verb third form. For example, Having attended a meeting of the club, I came back. Here the time of both the works is not same. The first work is meeting, attending the meeting of the club, and another work is coming back. So both the works are not being done at the same time. In this situation, we have to use having plus verb third form. The past participle is used only in the sense of passive voice. Here we use the third form of the verb. I saw a faded rose. These solved papers are very helpful. Passive sentences are those sentences where either we don't know the subject or we focus on the work, not on the subject. Here you can see a table of participles where you can see in the first column some verbs which are regular and irregular. So the regular and irregular, both the verbs can be converted or can be modified in present participle, past participle or perfect participle. For example, paint, dress and change are regular verbs. Read, take and see are irregular verbs here. So paint, its present participle is painting, its past participle is painted and its perfect participle is having painted. So the same way you can have a look on this table for the other verbs also. Let's revise the finite and non-finite verbs and see the difference between them. So what are finite verbs? Finite verbs act as a verb. Non-finite verbs do not act as a verb. Finite verbs act as the main verb of a clause. Non-finite verbs act as noun, adjectives and adverbs. Finite verbs indicate person, number and tense. Non-finite verbs do not indicate person, number and tense. Finite verbs used in present tense and past tense. Non-finite verbs are infinitives, gerunds and participles. Finite verbs appear in dependent and independent clauses. Non-finite verbs appear in infinitival, participle and gerund participle clause. You can have a look on the examples too. So let's do a short exercise related to finite and non-finite verbs. Here some sentences are given. You have to find the finite and non-finite verbs out of them. The first sentence is, my little brother wants to be an actor. Here the finite verb is wants, because the word want is changing according to the singular or plural subject. Non-finite verb is to be. So whenever you will find any verb after the word to, that is the non-finite verb. Second sentence, she worked hard to pass the test. The finite verb is worked because it is changing its form as per the tense of the sentence. Non-finite verb is to pass. Third sentence, I couldn't solve the problem. Here only the finite verb is given, that is couldn't solve. Fourth sentence, your duty is to cross the river without getting noticed. Here what's the finite verb? It is. And non-finite verb, to cross and getting. To cross is to infinitive and getting is a gerund. Now let's once again have a look on the flow chart of verb. So we have covered the category 1 of the main verbs, that is the finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Then we further studied the finite verbs and non-finite verbs in detail, and we also know about the infinitives, gerunds and participles in detail. Now let's study the category 2. According to category 2, the verbs are divided in two types, transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. transitive verbs are used with a direct object. For example, he wrote a letter. In this sentence, wrote is a verb and letter is an object. So if we ask a question, what did he write? The answer is a letter. Another example, Jessica reads a book. Reads is a verb, book is an object. What did Jessica read? A book. So such type of sentences can be answered if we ask for what. But in contrast to this, intransitive verbs are used without a direct object. For example, John is sleeping. What is John sleeping? So you can't answer. तो आप समझ गए होंगे कि ऐसे सेंटेंस जिनका जवाब आप क्या में दे सकें, जैसे कि वह लिख रहा है, क्या लिख रहा है, वह पढ़ रही है, क्या पढ़ रही है, वह खा रही है, क्या खा रही है। इस तरह के वर्ब्स जिनका आंसर हम क्या में दे सकें वे कहलाते हैं ट्रांजिटिव वर्ब, और ऐसे सेंटेंस जिनका जवाब हम क्या में ना दे सकें, जिनका कोई ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं है, उन्हें हम कहते हैं इंट्रांजिटिव वर्ब। जैसे वह सो रहा है, वह क्या सो रहा है, वह हंस रहा है, वह क्या हंस रहा है, हम इसका जवाब नहीं दे सकते। Sometimes we get confused in transitive and intransitive verb because the same verb is used in different manner in different sentences. For example, I ate meat. So here ate is the second form of eat and it's a verb and meat is an object. So if I ask what did I eat, you can answer meat. In the second sentence, I eat at 7 o'clock. The eat is a verb, but you can't tell me that what I ate or what did I eat. I eat at 7 o'clock. Here time is given that when I eat, but what I eat is not given. So if you can't answer the word what or the question word, then the verb is intransitive. Here you can see a list of intransitive verbs, and again I am repeating, an intransitive verb is an action verb that does not require the addition of a direct object or indirect object to complete its meaning. I am randomly picking some of the verbs out of this list. For example, fly. So the bird flies in the sky. The bird flies in the sky. Here you can say चिड़िया आसमान में उड़ रही है. चिड़िया क्या उड़ रही है? We can't answer this. The same way, she jumped happily. वह खुशी से कूदी. वह क्या कूदी? इसका जवाब हम नहीं दे सकते. He shouted at me. उसने मुझ पर चिल्लाया. क्या चिल्लाया? ये हम नहीं जवाब दे सकते. किस पर चिल्लाया दे सकते हैं. Sometimes there are verbs which act differently in different sentences. For example, if we see smell, the word smell, it can act as a noun, it can act as an intransitive verb, even it can act as an transitive verb. Let's see how. If we say, the smell of this rose is very sweet. So the word smell is a noun here. It's not a verb, it's a noun here. But if I say, don't smell it, so this word smell is a transitive verb here because its object is it. क्या मत सूंघो, उसे मत सूंघो. If I say, it smelled like a rotten egg, then the verb smell is intransitive verb because we can't answer it in what, but we can answer how. So I hope that the difference between transitive verb and intransitive verb is clear to you. Now let's talk about the category 3 of the verbs, according to which the verbs are divided in two types, regular verbs and irregular verbs. So what are regular verbs? Those verbs that form their past participle with D or ED are regular verbs. These verbs do not undergo substantial changes while changing forms between tenses. For example, accept, accepted, accepted. Achieve, achieved, achieved. Add, added, added. Admire, admired, admired. So you can see there is a proper pattern which the words are following by adding D or ED. and these are easy to learn. Irregular verbs. Verbs that undergo substantial changes when changing forms between tenses are irregular verbs. The changed forms of these verbs are often unrecognizably different from the originals. Let's see the examples. You can see a table given here. The verbs, their simple past form and the past participle is given here. Be, was, were, been, beat, beat, beaten, become, became, become, begin, began, begun. So these words are not following any particular rule or any particular pattern. That's why these are called irregular verbs. So the only option is we need to learn the forms of these verbs. So let's have a quick review of the verbs and their categories. I hope all your doubts related to verbs are cleared now. Now let's know something more about the verbs. Let's see some examples. Ramesh is a doctor. If we remove is from this sentence and put a equal to sign, then what do we get? Ramesh equal to doctor. So this is, which is linking the subject with the complement, is called the linking verb. And what is the linking verb in this sentence? Is a linking verb. Now let's know about the complement. Here a doctor is a complement. Here the complement tells about the subject, so it is called subjective complement. But when the complement tells about the subject, it is called objective complement. For example, they made Suresh a captain. The complement is an object here. Why so? Because the subject of the sentence is they and the object of the sentence is Suresh. And we are telling or giving some information about the object, not about the subject. Now, here you can see a list of linking verbs. Have a look on them and try to understand. Now let's know about factitive verbs. A factitive verb is a form of transitive verb that takes both an object and object complement, the two of which are in apposition. The most common factitive verbs are appoint, call, choose, consider, elect, find, make, think, name, select, etc. In these sentences, even if we have the subject, verb and object, still the sense of the sentence is not complete until we use the object complement. For example, the school appointed him principal. The school is subject, appointed is factitive verb, him is object, principal is object complement. Let's remove the object complement from here and see what the sentence is like. The school appointed him. But the sense is still incomplete until we tell that on which post he is appointed. So, the complete sentence will be the school appointed him principal. Let's see more examples. Jack called his cousin liar. Jack is subject, called is factitive verb, his cousin is object, a liar is objective complement. The same way, try to find out the objective complement in the following two sentences. I left my work incomplete. The judge found him guilty. Yes, the objective complement is incomplete and guilty. And what are the factitive verbs? Left and found. So guys, I hope you have understood the concept of verb and all your doubts are cleared now. Keep watching the channel for more such informative videos. Thank you.